But digital bombs began detonating simultaneously across the globe. Not explosives, but something more dangerous. Perfectly crafted lies that could reshape reality itself. In 2024, the world's democracies faced an unprecedented threat. AI-generated deepfakes targeting elections in over 50 countries. These weren't the clumsy edits of yesterday, but hyper-realistic forgeries, indistinguishable from truth. Politicians appeared to confess crimes they never committed. World leaders seemed to declare wars they never planned, and voters found themselves drowning in artificial reality. The very concept of truth was under systematic attack. The technology's origins were innocent. Academic labs exploring facial recognition and voice synthesis. Researchers at universities like Stanford and MIT developed generative adversarial networks, GANs, that could create stunningly realistic human faces. But this technology soon escaped the laboratory. Open-source platforms like Deepfakes Lab democratized creation, while cloud computing provided unlimited processing power. By early 2024, creating a convincing deepfake required just $5,000 in hardware and basic technical skills. The genie was out of the bottle, and nobody knew how to put it back. The first major warning came during Slovakia's parliamentary elections. 2 days before voting, audio surfaced of a leading candidate discussing rigging the election and buying votes. The recording spread like wildfire across social media, amplified by coordinated bot networks. Despite experts quickly identifying it as fake, the damage was done. The candidate lost by a narrow margin. This pattern repeated across Europe, Poland, Germany, the Netherlands. Each attack more sophisticated than the last. The playbook was being written in real time, and the architects were learning fast. Then came the American nightmare. A deepfake so perfect, it nearly triggered constitutional crisis. 3 days before the US presidential election, a video emerged showing the leading candidate accepting bribes from a foreign power. The footage was flawless. Every mannerism, every vocal inflection, perfectly replicated. Major news networks initially aired it without verification. Within hours, stock markets plunged, protests erupted, and foreign governments issued emergency statements. The video was eventually debunked, but not before shaking democracy to its core. Forensic analysis revealed the operation's sophistication. The deepfakes used adversarial examples, subtle digital artifacts designed to fool detection algorithms. The creators had employed model poisoning, feeding detection AIs corrupted training data that made them blind to specific forgeries. Payment trails led through cryptocurrency tumblers and shell companies in jurisdictions beyond reach. The infrastructure used compromised IoT devices, security cameras, smart TVs as rendering farms. This wasn't amateur hour. It was nation-state level psychological warfare disguised as grassroots content. Just as detection systems improved, the attackers unveiled their masterstroke: real-time deepfake technology during live events. During a crucial presidential debate, viewers watching on a major streaming platform saw one candidate's answers subtly altered in real time. The changes were small, but significant, changing policy positions, adding inflammatory phrases. The platform's AI moderation failed to detect the manipulation for 47 minutes. By then, clips had gone viral, and the damage was irreversible. The attackers had proven that nothing, not even live broadcasts, could be trusted anymore. The psychological impact transcended the technological threat. Studies showed that exposure to deepfakes created reality anxiety, a persistent doubt about all digital information. Even after debunking, the false memories lingered. Social media algorithms, optimized for engagement, amplified the most emotional content, regardless of truth. Society fractured into parallel realities where people couldn't agree on basic facts. The attacks weren't just changing opinions. They were dismantling the shared understanding necessary for democracy to function. The social contract was tearing at the seams. The response came from an unlikely alliance. Tech giants, governments, and civil society organizations formed the Digital Truth Accord. They developed watermarking standards, created verified media registries, and established rapid response teams. Major platforms implemented mandatory authentication for political content. Yet these measures faced immediate challenges: privacy concerns, censorship accusations, and technical limitations. The fundamental dilemma remained: how to preserve free speech while preventing its weaponization. The solutions were as controversial as the problems they sought to solve. The human stories revealed the true cost. A mayor in Brazil saw her career destroyed by a deepfake, showing her in a compromising situation. A Ukrainian activist faced death threats after a fabricated video showed him collaborating with enemy forces. The psychological toll included anxiety, depression, and shattered reputations. Victims described the unique horror of seeing themselves do things they never did, knowing that denial often only spread the lies further. The personal devastation became the forgotten casualty of this digital war. As authorities struggled, an unexpected defense emerged from underground. The Reality Guard, a global collective of ethical hackers, journalists, and concerned citizens. Using decentralized verification tools and crowdsourced investigation, they could often debunk deep fakes faster than official channels. Their methods combined digital forensics with human intuition, analyzing lighting inconsistencies, biometric patterns, and behavioral anomalies that algorithms missed. They proved that while technology created the crisis, human collaboration might provide the salvation. The Reality Guard's techniques were brilliantly simple, yet effective. They developed reality anchors, cryptographic timestamps embedded in legitimate media at creation. They used geographic analysis to identify impossible locations and timing inconsistencies. Most importantly, they maintained a global network of human verifiers who could spot cultural context errors that algorithms missed. Their success rate reached 94%, often debunking deepfakes within minutes of appearance. They became the internet's immune response to digital infection. Governments began fighting back with legislation. The European Union passed the Digital Integrity Act, imposing harsh penalties for malicious deepfake creation. The United States established the National Deepfake Response Center within Homeland Security. International cooperation led to the Paris Accord on Digital Reality, signed by 89 countries. Yet enforcement proved challenging. Attacks often originated from non-signatory states, and jurisdictional boundaries meant little in digital space. The legal framework was playing catch-up with technological reality. Technological countermeasures evolved rapidly. New detection methods used heartbeat analysis, measuring subtle cardiac rhythms visible in facial blood flow. Other systems analyzed micro-expressions, lasting fractions of seconds. Blockchain verification became standard for official communications. Yet the AI arms race continued. Each defensive innovation met with more sophisticated attacks. The core vulnerability remained. Human perception could be fooled, and once fooled, often resisted correction. The battle was as much psychological as technological. The 2024 election season ultimately ended with mixed results. Some countries successfully defended their democratic processes through rapid response and public education. Others saw deepfakes swing crucial races. The aftermath brought sobering realizations. Detection technology would always lag creation. Education was the best defense, and rebuilding trust would take generations. The world had passed through its first deepfake election cycle, wiser but wounded, aware that this was only the beginning of a permanent new reality. Personal protection became the new frontier. Apps emerged that helped individuals create digital fingerprints, unique biometric signatures that could prove authenticity. Public figures began using verified communication channels. Media literacy programs expanded worldwide, teaching critical thinking alongside technical skills. The crisis sparked a global conversation about digital citizenship and the responsibilities that come with powerful technology. From the chaos emerged a new awareness about the fragility of truth in the digital age. The architects of the deepfake campaigns remained largely unknown. Attribution proved nearly impossible through the layers of obfuscation. Some evidence pointed to state actors testing new forms of hybrid warfare. Others suggested ideological groups exploiting the chaos. The most disturbing theory proposed that the attacks were experiments, deliberate stress tests of democratic systems to identify breaking points. Whoever they were, they had demonstrated that democracy's greatest weakness was its dependence on shared facts. The legacy of the deepfake wars transformed how society interacts with technology. A new verification-first culture emerged, where people automatically questioned digital content. Trust shifted from institutions to processes, from trusting sources to trusting verification methods. This cultural adaptation proved more effective than any technological solution. People learned to live with uncertainty while developing better tools for navigating it. The crisis ultimately made society more resilient, though the cost had been enormous. Looking ahead, the technology continues evolving. Text-to-video generation is becoming instantaneous, while voice cloning requires only seconds of sample audio. Quantum computing threatens to break current encryption methods. The next frontier, brain-computer interfaces, could make deepfakes seem primitive. Yet defense technology also advances, with AI becoming better at detecting AI-generated content. The arms race continues, but the experience of 2024 provided crucial lessons about preparation, response, and resilience. The deepfake crisis revealed fundamental truths about human nature. Our brains aren't wired for this digital age. We evolved to trust what we see and hear. This vulnerability makes us susceptible to manipulation, but also enables the empathy and connection that define our humanity. The solution isn't to become cynical, but to become wise, to develop new ways of knowing that combine technological tools with human wisdom. The challenge is to protect truth without losing our capacity for trust. As we stand at this crossroads, one thing becomes clear. Technology doesn't determine our future. Our choices do. The deepfake wars showed both our vulnerability and our resilience. They revealed that while lies can spread faster than ever, so can truth. That while technology can divide us, it can also connect us. The digital age isn't ending, it's just beginning. And the lessons we learn today will shape whether technology becomes humanity's masterpiece or its undoing. The battle for truth continues every day. If this deepfake investigation opened your eyes to the hidden wars shaping our reality, there's much more to uncover. Join our truth-seeking community at Reality Decoded. Hit subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss our deep dives into the world's most crucial mysteries. Join our truth-seeking community at Reality Decoded. Hit subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss our deep dives into the world's most crucial mysteries. Share this video with someone who needs to understand the digital threats facing our world. Together, we can build a more informed future. Stay curious, stay aware. This is Reality Decoded, decoding tomorrow's truths today.